Hola, ¿cómo
Hey
estás?
guys! Happy Thursday, everyone. Welcome to your favorite cousins podcast. And I am Yas, and we have
Bianita, your favorite cousin, your tia, your primita, all the good stuff.
yes. And we
So
have
happy to
a
be here with y'all.
amazing episode set up for you guys today. But before we get into that, y'all already know we need y'all to like, comment, share, subscribe. And we also have that email active. YA favorite cousins podcast at gmail.com. Please feel free to share any confessions, any feedback, any dilemmas that you guys need, any unlicensed spiritual advice on. We will be there to offer listening ear, and then you will be featured in our upcoming segment, The Cousins Council. It's coming really soon. We got a
Mm-hmm.
couple things in there, and we really
Mm-hmm.
just want to include you guys as much as we build out this community, guys. All right.
And if you feel the need to do so anonymously because maybe it's too juicy, do that, Booski.
Exactly.
We're waiting. So we did want to jump right in and get to talking
Mhm.
about a topic that has now become semi-mainstream, especially like on like Mom Talk, aka Mother's TikTok.
Mhm.
Um, also like, parenting TikTok, whatever, right? So I'm just gonna preface this. In the 1950s or so, right?
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
we're going there. In the 1950s or so, housing market things, marketing the housing market, kind of manipulating like household dynamics through media, whatever the case may be, and literally in order to sell more homes, there was this promotion of the idea of what we now call a traditional household, right? With
Mhm.
like where there's like a mom, there's a dad in the household, and then there's the kids, right? The mom is
Mhm.
home, baking pies, and I'm literally picturing Lucille Ball because that's
Yes.
who. Okay, with that written, that was a different demographic. However, this
Mhm.
we're obviously affected, but so, this she has her brand new Frigidaire. Her husband goes out with his briefcase, comes back, and there's a roast chicken and asparagus or whatever on the table. Anyway, so
Mhm.
that's how that became a thing. That household dynamic.
Mhm.
We people of color have always had dynamics where it was always communal. Typically, there was a mom who may live in the house. Like a grandma is there. Everybody's
Mhm.
kind of in like everybody's in a vicinity somehow, some way. There's still a communal aspect, right? Got it. Now, because of all of that, you know, and I have my own personal experience with this kind of dynamic. Um,
For sure.
when I say the dynamic, I mean like a mom, a dad, the children in the household. We have this household dynamic. Now, again, like I said, I
Mhm.
have my own personal experience. I understand the how unsuccessful this dynamic is, and the reason why it's unsuccessful is because someone is always going to have to sacrifice. Typically, it's the mother who sacrifices because she is now in a every single aspect of her life has now changed, right?
Mhm.
For usually the woman, or she's had time where she's gone to work and come home and she's cooked and she's made herself meals and she's done, XYZ, cleaned and did all the things, right, for herself.
Mhm.
And she survived, right? She's alive, she's well, she's able to date, have a social life, XYZ. Now, when
Yeah.
you bring having children into it, and also having a partner who is the breadwinner, right, for these traditional household things. Now there's a
Mhm.
partner who thinks that going to work, to all the guys, please, I understand that you're going to work.
Mhm.
Going to work, and working hard can most definitely be a sacrifice. And in this day and age, it is deeply appreciated, right? Because
Mhm.
we've seen how much damage has been done to a lot of, our communities. Child, the crack epidemic put a hole in. Boop, boop. I mean, it was a left and right. It's been left right for many hundreds of years, right?
Y'all done took a couple beatings. We understand.
We understand. At the same time, it's important that we acknowledge that the woman is essentially having to literally give her life over to the household, right?
Right.
And nothing is the same. So she's not
Mhm.
able to clock in, she's not able to clock out. There is no clock
Mhm.
out. she's working 24 hours. And this is also something that's been proven, and that there's studies that have been done on the mind of of a mother, of a woman, the mind, how much stress her body is under, the kinds of
Mhm.
stress, because it's not just physical labor, because we know that there's a mental load.
Yeah, of
There's
course.
hundreds of thousands of people who are detailing this on TikTok, on YouTube. Everybody's giving their experience now, right? Thank God that people are able to share.
Mhm.
So, but there's also the physical labor, which everybody also knows. You're cooking, you're cleaning, you're just doing, doing, doing. You don't I
Mm.
remember being a stay-at-home mom and never sitting down. I remember being on my feet for like 16 hours. How the hell are you
Mhm.
on your feet? You in the house. It almost sounds
That's
unbelievable
brutal.
for people who haven't like been in that space. It almost seems like, people usually tell you that you need to, it's a privilege. There's so many women who would have loved to stay home with their children. There's so many people who
Mhm.
and we know this, right? I come from a household. My
Mhm.
mother wasn't able to just stay home with the children
Mhm.
and feed them intellectually and feed them with time and feed them with there was she gotta go to work, okay? Everybody get up, 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 up,
Yeah.
up. You know what I'm saying? And then when she got home, she had to make a meal, a full meal,
Right. It's a
make a
lot.
full meal, and you're not sitting down either for another. So that's a single mother lifestyle. But we know that we obviously know the struggle of that. But
Yeah.
I want to put a spotlight on the dynamic between man, woman, children in one household, and how it's not all that people crack it up to be in a lot of these traditional media outlets that we've seen. You
Yeah.
know, it's really a lot of work. The
Mhm.
as a mom, I'm gonna also let you jump in because I'm curious about like as a young single person, like what
Yes.
you've noticed too, right? But I've seen so
Right.
many women who like even what the women who are in like what do they call like single mothers in their marriages? Do you know what I mean?
Oh,
Because a man will literally
girl.
go to work
Yes.
and come home and that's the totality of his duties. Maybe take the trash out.
Yeah.
And this woman is
Mhm.
up working, goes to work, comes home. You know what I mean? Cooking, cleaning, getting kids to bed, bathing children, you got to do hair. You got to, God forbid you want to shave your own legs. Who's supposed to have time to do intimate activities,
Right.
etc.? Who's going to do that after not having a moment to breathe? What have you perceived? Like, what are you thinking about these dynamics? And like, what would you
Yes.
want? Like, okay, what would you want? You know what I mean? What would be your ideal,
Situation, huh?
family? Yeah, what would your nuclear family look like?
I think, first of all, I so I don't have kids. Of course, if you can get the contents, y'all, I don't context. I have no children, but I am a
God
former
is
kid.
good.
I am a former kid, so I do feel like, based on just kind of like observing, I'm a former kid and I grew up around multiple households where things were very different. I've lived in a single mother household. I've lived in a long-term marriage household. I've lived in a lot of things. So I'm just gonna cite my sources right here. However, I do want to go back to what you were saying as far as like that dynamic not being all that it's cracked up to be. And I think, and y'all are going to just hear us talk about this because we're just women existing, Black women existing in America. This is due to the patriarchy. Who set this system up?
Hello.
And it be literally when you go into like, you blow the dust off the book and go into like, the glossary and cite the sources, it be a man at the root of the
Mhm.
it be a nigga it be a man at the root of the fucking problem. Who set this system up? These men set this system up for it
Mhm.
to be this way. Let's not
Mhm.
forget women fought to work. Women
Mhm.
fought to have things of their own, like voting and fucking abortion
Yeah.
rights. Like, all right, you keep there's a lot of situations where there is a married person or a couple that's married dynamic, and this person keeps getting this person pregnant, and there's no
Mhm.
abortion laws set up to cover the woman in that space. And I think that just comes from just the patriarchy, which is why it feels like now women are kind of like it's like recognizing the glitch in the matrix. That's why it feels anti-woman because it is anti-woman. You know what I'm
Mhm,
saying?
mhm,
And I think observing those dynamics as far as just like you're a kid and you see that the responsibility that the father has, it's like kind of like a Venn diagram, if you will,
mhm,
of just
mhm,
like an internal Venn diagram of the stuff that maybe the male in your household is held, the responsibilities that he's held up to, and
mhm,
the responsibilities that your mother is held up to,
mhm,
and being women, we take on so much as far as like on the emotional side of things. Like women, I can only imagine what it's like to take on the emotion of your partner because you're still in an
mm,
active partnership while you're parenting. Like that's still an
mhm,
active thing going on. You're taking the emotions of the partner and the children and then yourself. Like
mhm,
at the very bottom, after the dog,
mhm,
after the dog,
mhm,
after the mailman, after the your
mhm,
boss that you work with, after your girlfriends or whatever,
mhm,
then it's you. And I think that is very fucked. I think that's very fucked up. And I'm really glad that this is becoming a conversation or something that people think that they need to like kind of break open and kind of chip away at and reassess because it is
mm.
very strange. Like, working like I mean, being in a Caribbean household where it's like uh certain standards of having dinner ready as soon as the person gets off work. Y'all,
Child.
it's
Girl,
just me.
and then you
Look,
gotta get
y'all,
up
it's
and make the plate after you just sat down, after you made the you took an hour and a half, baking chicken, cleaning, steaming, you
you gotta turn
frying.
around, make the plate, and
You
then
gotta
clean
get
up when they done eating.
and feed the kids, and then clean up after the kids, wipe their mouth, clean their hands, put them in the bath, get their pajamas together, lotion them down, fix their hair, put the bonnets
Mhm.
on, get them down. You know how long it takes to get some
Okay.
kids to sleep? You get them to sleep, and then what? Then what? Then you gotta go perform duties.
You literally gotta clock in again.
Yo, you gotta clock back in. No
You gotta clock
rest.
back in.
No rest. And the woman is not even wicked. Crazy. Crazy.
The
And
thing
yo,
is,
it's I
whatchamacallit, what's so funny about that dynamic though is like it's just me. And I always tell like anybody I know with kids, I'm like, I really salute you because I could not fathom. Y'all, I get out of bed. I get out of bed at a reasonably like because of my work schedule, I get up at like around 8 o'clock. I blink and it's 3, 4 o'clock. I couldn't
girl.
imagine me waking up at 8 o'clock and blinking and then the man coming in here, what we eating?
Girl.
Oh, hold on. Wait, 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 hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. But wait, hold on. I didn't even wait.
Literally.
Y'all, I did not even like wow.
Yeah.
Hold on. What was I doing this whole day?
Yes.
That be me,
Yes.
and that's just me. But when
Yes.
you're really doing something that whole entire day and then somebody
Yes.
comes in and they're like, "Oh,
You gotta
god damn
feed
it."
you gotta
And there's
feed
an
mad
interesting
people mad times
man,
a day,
multiple
bro.
mouths.
You're just
You gotta
always on the
get
fucking fritz. Literally, you're cook. That's the thing. Like I remember spending so much time in the kitchen. That's why when people be like, "Oh yeah, get your," they want you barefoot, pregnant in the kitchen. It's like, hee hee. Hee. When you click to you realize like your life is gonna be spent in that kitchen,
it's a
and then
360 deal, babes.
you're gonna be cleaning up perpetually. You're perpetually cleaning up
Yeah.
nonstop for hours on end. You are cleaning all day. Your life is
Yep.
spent cleaning,
Yep.
cleaning, correcting. You don't got
Mhm.
time to do too much of any like it's that stay at home life. I remember watching this lady like literally the day before yesterday. And partially like the reason why I was like, yeah, we definitely gotta holler at the folk about this. You know what I'm saying? This
Mhm.
lady was in the car and and I've seen many of these videos and I've been this lady. She was in the car crying
Mhm.
and she was just like down, like sis was down. You know what I'm saying? And she was
Mm.
describing like basically what I'm also here describing. She was describing how, the kids, mind you, kids in the back. Oh, oh, you see little baby feet in the back,
Mommy,
and she's trying to put lip gloss on.
mommy, 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 mommy.
Literally, she's trying to put lip gloss on, and she's fucking, crying.
Oh,
She's
poor
broken
baby.
down. Yeah, having a fucking breakdown. And I remember
Yeah.
these moments because first off, don't nobody want to hear that you made these kids and now you always need help. You
Mhm.
always need help. Yes! Every day,
Yeah.
every single
Mhm.
day, like, I needed help, you know?
Yeah.
And it's something that can be a bit difficult, like, unless you have this is why I always tell everybody who I know, like, talk when we talk I talk about children with, like, my other friends or other family members, like,
Mhm.
this is why everything I can talk about is about community. You need
Yeah.
to have a strong set of people around you that you can trust. And I think that tends
Mhm.
to be the tough part with communities, that there are people around, you can't quite trust them, but you gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta go to
Yeah.
work. You leave your kids with these shady ass people. Remember that? I don't know if you remember the story about that girl. I think she worked at
Mhm.
like Domino's, or it was some pizza place that she worked at, and she left her kids at the hotel. She was living in a hotel, and
Okay.
left her kids, they were asleep, and she had whoever the next door person was, like, it was somebody that she knew that stayed in the hotel too, who's supposed to be coming and checking on the kids
Mhm.
every so often, every hour or something like that. And
Mhm.
the hotel manager called the police on Shorty, and
Mhm.
they attempted to take her kids away. It was a whole thing, and it went viral,
Really?
and people donated to her. They donated, I think she might have gotten maybe $200,000-300,000 towards an actual home, and I think she got offered, job
Wow.
positions and things like that, right?
Mhm.
Because she had to do what the fuck she had to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Ugh,
Um,
and that's so strange because like I grew up as y'all, I'm the older sibling, and I grew up like as a latchkey kid, but I remember like not having my keys sometimes and being at other people's houses until my parents got home from work, from work. Like
yeah.
when we lived in Atlanta, we had the lady upstairs, we had a couple people that always had eyes on us, and that also just comes from shout out my stepdad. I don't know if he's watching this. My stepdad is a very like
Personable.
friendly guy. He's a very
Yeah.
friendly guy, and it's so strange because he does not. He swears up and down. You ask him, he does not like people. Oh, I don't like people. I can't do that job because I don't like people. I don't know.
It's a
But
Sagittarian thing.
he's the most people person down because
Yeah.
that's how we were able to knock on somebody's door and be like, hey, I lost my key, whatever. Can I come pick it at your house? Can I stay here at your
Mhm,
house?
mhm,
That
mhm,
was how we were able to do that because my mom was working 9 to 5, nine
mhm,
to five, nine to
mhm,
five, 8 to 4 off the weekends. And when she's on the weekends, she's not coming out. She don't want to be bothered with nobody. So my mom was
mhm,
very much reclused in that way.
mhm.
But I am really grateful for him being so extrovert. And also, my mom is she's an ambivert, but she leans more on the introvert side of
She's
things.
Virgo. Let's talk about that, because I
Yeah,
mean
very Virgo.
that's very Virgo, very Sag. Yeah, y'all ate that.
Very, very, yeah. That dynamic, literally all the stereotypes of is very true. And so, him being so extroverted really kind of built a bit of and he had a landscaping business, so he was well known around the neighborhood. It opened up that kind of communal village esque, and mind you, some of these people were not black. Some of these people were white folks, and we'd be all up in their home eating their snacks. It would be some of the it would open up for that, but also knowing that there was an active parent around, and if some shit
Mhm,
happened to my daughters, I'm gonna come
mhm,
looking for you. If some shit happened or
mhm,
whatever, I'm gonna come looking for you. And we
mhm.
always had a dog, and the dog would always jump the fence, so people knew our dog because our dog would just be moseying around the neighborhood. Who's fucking? Oh, we know whose dog this is. All that type of thing.
Yeah.
Um, and I think the key thing for I think in order to have a community, to going back to what you said, trust is super important, you know, but also like the ability to be on one accord with people, as far as just like, okay, this is a neighborhood full of families. We
Mhm,
all have younger kids, all the kids in the neighborhood around the same age. We all had the understanding like nobody's on that weird shit with your kid.
mhm.
And I'm gonna, I'll let your kid. Maybe they can't come in my, you got a mean on whatever mean, y'all can't come to my house, but y'all can kick it on the yard. Like y'all
Yeah,
can't come in here,
yeah,
but y'all can just kick it on the yard till y'all parents come. That type of
yeah.
thing. That level of trust, that level of bond, that level of communication. I think with that comes like a level of empathy. Like
Mhm.
if somebody is a stay at home, a stay at home parent, and you just think they got it good. God forbid they want to go dip out real quick. Can I drop my kids with you? People
Mhm.
automatically want to peer into your life and be like, well, what the hell you're a stay at home parent.
Yeah. What do you
You
mean?
gotta, there's
Yeah.
no compassion in that sense of things, especially if
There's none.
the male partner is, he's doing fine financially if he can afford to fund
Mhm.
you and another child, or fund you
Mhm.
enough for you that you don't have to work again. So
Mhm.
there isn't that level of trust, and especially coming from a Caribbean community where they can't conceptualize.
What?
They
Help?
cannot conceptualize.
What do you mean?
What do you
What? They don't.
mean? I had lunch made, clothes starched. I looked decent.
Yep.
Groceries were I had the
By
grocery list.
11
We do the
a.m.
grocery shop
11 a.m.
by 11
Sharp.
a.m.
Sharp. You hear
Now I'm
me?
at home watching my stories, and you want to bring
Bleach.
your
They don't
kids,
bleach behind the toilet. They don't pull
okay?
the fridge out,
Clean the
scrub the back of the.
baseboards, wash the
Yo.
walls.
And it's only 12:30 in the afternoon. They're going to take a little sit down.
They're taking a nap at 12:30
What?
afternoon.
What?
They're taking a nap
How,
while
bro?
the pot roast slow cooking. They
Okay,
get up. All
washing the
right, this roast gonna be
walls.
nice and tender.
Yeah, wash the walls. They're a little Dettol. And how the
Hmm.
hell? You know what? This is what I'm saying. Like, okay,
But they were not happy
th-
to that
th-
to that point.
yeah, eat it, eat it, eat it. Cause yes, cause
Think
this, cause
about
this is where
the
we
think
going.
about the
This is
think
where we gotta
about these
go.
women that we described. Are these the most nicest women on the block? 9 times out of 10, they're not. They're
These
not
women
happy.
are very unhappy. Let me
There's
also elaborate
resentment.
on that. Yes, deep resentment. And this is
Mhm.
another thing I want to say to a lot of people that have lived in like either single parent households or households where your mother was she was always like stressed and irritated, you know what I mean? Typically annoyed, always need
Mhm.
telling us, she was always busy doing, doing, doing. You have one of those parents. Okay. Either of those, excuse me, parents. You don't even know who that lady is.
Mhm.
You've never actually truly got a chance to meet her because
Mhm.
she never had a chance to meet herself. She's never had
Yeah.
the opportunity to be herself.
Yeah.
A lot of these a lot of these a lot of these women are having to perform, literally performing these duties, and not just the duties, but like these even the abstract duties of having to be a woman, you know what I mean? How
Mhm.
often you can or cannot ask for help. All the things that you
Yeah.
have to do, the way that you have to present yourself, how much work has to be done, how
Yeah.
hyper productive our communities are, how much rest is something that is seen as,
It's
it's
frowned
just
upon.
yeah. So if rest is frowned upon and you have a mom that's in her 50s, 60s, you think you know her? A woman who has never had a chance to rest or be herself. Think about
Mhm.
think about think about what your mother's skills, gifts, and talents are. If cooking is one of them, let's sit that one to the side. We know that, honey, that's natural for us. That's natural. But aside from that,
Right.
aside from that, because you know I gets down. But
Right.
you know what I'm saying? But aside from that, aside from cooking,
Mhm.
aside from being a cleaner or whatever the case may be, what were her talents? What are her
Dreams,
gifts? Yeah. What are her
goals, right.
dreams and goals? She never
Mhm.
had the opportunity to even think about a motherfucking dream. She immediately pivoted to make sure she had a good job. You know what I'm saying? You go into
Mhm.
nursing, you're gonna
Mhm.
have a good job. The medical field is an easy go to. Not easy to get into, but it's an easy go to. You're always gonna be employed. You know that you're always gonna be in demand. You're gonna have good
Mhm.
money. You'll have decent benefits. XYZ.
Yeah.
Women who have always just made sure they had to go to work. That is what it was. Everything was very much survival. If you have a mother who
Yeah.
was only in survival mode, you never got a chance to meet her. And so I just wanted to say that I feel for, and I feel it's almost our responsibilities now to
Mhm.
get out ahead of that. You know what I mean? We
Mhm.
have to ascend from that. You know, that needs to be
Mhm.
where the baseboards in which we're pushing ourselves off from. That there are women who had to
Mhm.
sacrifice themselves, for us, for everyone's well-being, right? For the sake of
Mhm.
literally keeping us alive, keeping us afloat, and of course in the high end of things, you kept us healthy. We might have been prosperous.
Right.
If you are in that space and you had a mom that sacrificed, it's I feel like it's our duty to be
Mhm.
better and to be greater, to not go into households where you are the mother who is bearing the brunt of everything, where you don't get a chance
Yeah.
to sit down and eat because you immediately have to start cleaning everybody's plate and washing the
Yeah.
dishes and cleaning the pots and packing the food and make sure the fridge is wiped down and make sure the oven.
Mhm.
What? It's duty after duty after duty, no rest.
Yeah, it's like a weird relationship, and we're speaking as members of the Caribbean diaspora. Like, they have a weird alliance, allegiance to suffering, sacrifice, and that's what makes everything worth a damn, sacrificing and suffering. And
Mhm.
it's just like it almost kind of makes you scared to have, I mean, of course, me to have a child, because I feel like as a woman, having a child is the most like groundbreaking, prosperous things that you can do as a woman. You know what I'm saying? Not to say that you're not prosperous if you don't have children, but that is one of the attributes of being a woman that just makes you like, damn, she did the fucking thing. You know what I'm saying? However, when you really deep these women's stories and how much they've sacrificed, how much they've put on the back burner, how much they haven't really gone for the things that they truly want, and how that
Mm.
manifests in the
Mm.
relationships with the child, how that
Mhm.
manifests with the relationship with themselves, how that manifests with
Mhm.
the relationship with your father or your
Yep.
parent. It almost makes you kind of petrified, because it's like, oh shit, you bringing life into the world, which is the most beautiful thing as human creatures, but
Mhm.
it seems like the most daunting, scariest thing. Like,
Mhm.
people change the way they operate around you. People may
Mhm.
not want to put up with the things that you're dealing with, like,
Mhm.
I remember I was watching Sex and the City, and Sex and the City, I love, like, y'all are probably gonna hear me reference that show a lot because I love that show so much, and it's almost like a slow peek into like white womanhood. Like, what do
Mhm.
y'all really
Mhm.
be, what do y'all be going through? And when Miranda went and had a baby, Samantha was like the Bachelorette. She was a PR agent. She had her own
Mhm.
business. She was, moving and grooving, had a vivacious sex life, just a
Mhm.
vivacious life, glam girl down. And when Miranda went and had a child, she didn't know how to deal with her. Like, Miranda would talk about the child and Samantha would like quickly, like, oh, whatever. And, talk about, all right, let's talk about this party we're going to. Oh, you can't come. Oh, like, it was just definitely that.
Mhm.
And and there's a specific episode where she's kind of confronted with that, as far as like, look, I'm a mother and you stop being my friend, you know?
Mhm. Mhm.
And Samantha had to be, and she had a baby with colic. So the baby would just be crying all the time. And
Oh
Samantha
my
used to be visibly
god.
annoyed with the fucking baby. We're at lunch, you gotta bring the baby. The baby's fucking crying. Like, Samantha just
Mhm.
couldn't deal
Mhm.
with it. But I feel like that was a real I'm like, oh damn, all women go through this, because it was just
Mm.
Miranda. It was just Miranda and Steve, the baby's daddy.
Mm.
And she wasn't
Mm.
fucking with the baby's daddy at the time. So
Mm.
it really just Miranda, and Miranda's a lawyer. She's like this career power woman or whatever. And then she does something that requires her to be so soft and so, different from her character.
Mm.
Is to be a mother.
Mhm.
And Samantha just had a different reaction towards it. And in the episode, you kind of see where she's confronted with having to have compassion for her. And like, she
Mm.
had a hair, like, Miranda would talk about, oh yeah, my baby's got colic, I stayed up all night. She'd be like, well, I got a hair appointment. So like, that would be her response. Like, she was very much that. And at
Mhm.
the end, like, Samantha gives Miranda her slot for the hair appointment. She comes and
Aw.
watches the baby, and helps the baby while the
Aw.
baby is crying, because she's like, damn, I'm realizing I'm not being a good friend. That's real
Wow.
bond, real sisterhood, real trust. That's real community.
I love that.
I'm not, you my best friend. I'm not
I
fucking with
love
my baby.
that.
I'm not fucking with my baby daddy right now.
Mhm.
I really didn't want nothing, because she was going to get an abortion. She really wanted nothing to do with the child. She decided to keep the child. She decided to keep the child on terms of like, we don't got to be, very hands off, very cool, laid back. We don't got to be together for me to have a child. I don't really, this is
Mhm.
weirding me out. I'm not the most chummy type of girl, but I
Mhm.
guess I'm gonna do this motherhood shit or whatever. And she
Mhm.
held her down in that moment, but
Mhm.
it was like slow for her to come around to it,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I'm saying this to say it's okay if y'all are slow to coming around to your mom friends. I have a middle school friend group. All of them have children, or all of them have
Wow.
kids. And sometimes I do feel like I don't know how to, like, what are our conversations like? But shout out to my friend Danielle. It's literally like we pick up and it's the same thing.
Yeah.
I'm not living in fear that this girl's gonna drop her baby off at my doorstep and be like, you know, it's just, it's humanize your moms, humanize your mothers. And at
Yes.
the time of filming this, Mother's Day has just passed. Maybe that's why this is like on our
Yes.
minds. Maybe this is why. But humanize your mothers, and allow them there's certain parts where you might look back at certain things and be like, I didn't really fuck with that. I didn't really like that, or I didn't like the way you
Mhm.
talked to me that day, or da 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 da.
Mhm.
Just deep and taken for the partners of the mothers. Probably, maybe, if you think you're doing a lot, do more, because you're not. Every
Ah,
good man,
say
every
that.
good man is an exceptional woman. Every good man is just an average woman. Every good man
Yes.
is an average woman. So
Yeah.
you think you doing the damn thing. You man of the year, babes.
Yeah. Look at the
Subpar.
average woman. Look at the average woman. Look at the woman
Look at
who's
the
doing
average woman
great
next to
next to
you.
you.
Look at the average woman. Look at the
She
average woman that you hold in high regards next to you.
blowing you out the water, child, every
Literally
time.
average shit. Average shit.
Outperforming in every way you possibly can think. How the hell did you get all that shit done in one day? You got a skin regimen.
Literally.
You know what I'm saying?
She
You
look good.
regulating your bowels regulated. You know what I'm saying? Hair done,
Okay.
nails done. You know how much work it takes to keep up with hair, nails, skin? What?
Hair, skin, and nails.
Girl.
Period come
And this
back. Hormone regulation. Like,
all
y'all.
she gotta do her laundry. She's supposed to get her fitness in. You know what I'm saying? She gotta grease
Mm-hmm.
her own scalp by herself. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
this is a slew of things. There's a slew of things, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I just wanna round that back to Shorty before we move on. That girl was in that car going through it. Hair a mess,
Oh my
eyebrows trying to throw her
gosh.
eyebrows together, and the point that she was making was like, I never have the time to do anything for myself. She
Mm-hmm.
doesn't. And so I just want to make note for people
Yeah.
who have not, I almost want to say the privilege, but these things have pros and cons, right?
Yeah.
In many ways, being able to go to work and pull your mind away from the never ending, perpetual state of vigilance that keeps your nervous system fried hard because you're literally saving lives uh, every second, second to second to second to
You're
second.
literally
Your
trying to stop
mind,
something
yes, from dying all day.
from dying.
All day. Your mind can't even suck out of it for a I went to the pharmacy one time and I almost had a little bit of a breakdown because this is when the kids were small. My mind hadn't been outside of I couldn't stop thinking about them. I was
Mm-hmm.
getting nervous. I was
Mm.
anxious. I had no reason to be anxious. It was just my body was experiencing so much without being vigilant, but there's no one to be vigilant for around me yet.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just here to pick up some tampons. You know what I mean? I'm just here to get some
Mm.
antibacterial
Wow.
soap or whatever the hell. And I remember I stopped and I called my mom. Like I went to a corner of the pharmacy and I called my
Mm-hmm.
mother and I was like, "Hello?" She was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "I'm at the pharmacy." And it was just quiet. She's like, "All right." And I'm like, "This is so weird." She's like, "I know." Like I know,
Yeah.
you know? Um
Yeah.
And I remember never having a moment to do anything, and I think that I just want people to give those women who are experiencing that style of mothering, right? Being
Mm-hmm.
with their kids all day without a break. I did it during COVID. I couldn't leave the house. It was I had literally got I had PTSD, anxiety, depression, ADHD. I was going through it. I was you know what I'm saying?
All the D's,
Um
y'all.
all the things, all the tisms, all the
Throw
isms,
some
all the
D's on it.
Macaulers. Girl. But yeah, so give Shorty grace. Give
Definitely.
them ladies in the house. Give that lady some
And
grace too, you know what I'm
also,
saying?
as the new parents come in and the new generation comes in, I feel like the only way we can change is only way to like see any change, nothing without intention with the people that you have a child with, the people that you befriend. I need to know if you go like we talked about in our second episode about sisterhood and friendship. Those are the realest. You need to make sure you got the realest bitches in your corner. So I know if any one of us have a child, I'm willing to, and I know I'm that
Mhm.
friend. Also,
Mhm.
also be that friend.
Mhm.
Be that. Also, make sure that you're being that friend. Make sure that you're acquiring those friends. Make sure you are
Mhm.
keeping those type of people fucking around you because that's the
Mhm.
only way we can arrest that pattern. Because like
Mhm.
you don't want to become the very thing that you despise. You don't want to
Right.
become the old bitter ass lady on the block,
Child.
giving the mom the side eye because her kids ask if they could kick it at your house while they mama at work.
Mhm.
You don't want to be, you know,
Yeah.
oh, she need to come get them down there. Well, back in my day when I
Uh-huh.
was, I had
Yeah.
don't
I
even
ain't never had nobody. I
passing
ain't never
off
had to ask
judgment.
nobody for no help.
You're
I ain't
mad.
never had
You're
to, I did it by
mad.
myself. Ain't nobody ever had
You're
to tell.
hurt.
Baby, lead them.
You're literally hurt.
And stop talking about them ladies that be leaving them kids with grandma at grandma house. You know, nigga said the baby is the grandma. The grandma
The
is the
grandma is the
baby.
baby.
Okay?
And I do agree.
Drop them kids off. the fuck? I mean, some people are excessive. We know that there's some people literally, but yeah, you know what I mean.
There is a true like arrested development going on with motherhood, but I think that's just because like everyone is young as hell trying to do this motherhood thing.
Yeah.
But
AKA
I mean,
40 and under is young as fuck. Mhm.
but I mean, back in the day, people were having kids wild
Infantile.
young, and they was,
Literally.
holding it down. I just think you need to
'Cause there was
community is just so important, y'all.
Mhm. Mhm.
It really
Mhm.
is just the basis. It's the basis of culture. It's the basis of humanity. Is community, and you know, if somebody's kids was to knock on my door today and be like, "Our mom did," I lost
Yeah.
my key at school. Please, can y'all come?
Mhm.
I will open the door for them kids. I
Yeah,
would
it's
because
some fruit
I've
snacks in
been
the
that
back.
kid.
Hold on a second. Yeah.
I've been
Y'all
that
want a little
kid. I mean,
$5 and run to the store?
I got a real bachelorette pad. Y'all want some dog food? I got a beef patty.
And I got some hot wings. Y'all want to
I
pick
got
which
a
one?
beef
You like spicy food?
patty.
So I said
Y'all
I
like
got
a
jerk chicken. I don't know, some jerk chicken from
literally.
last night.
I got a beef patty and some kombucha. I got kombucha. Maybe a nice kombucha.
Um,
I got oatmeal. I got some ice cream. Literally, them kids gonna have ice. It's gonna be ice cream and soda. I'm living my inner child dreams in
oatmeal
here.
and
Ice
ice
cream for
cream.
breakfast. Literally, it's Talenti. Y'all want some Talenti?
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Yo, who was your favorite? You had a favorite like person's house to go to like growing up?
Yes,
Who was
there
that
was a
person
lady.
and why?
Oh my gosh, there was a lady. When I lived in North Carolina, we lived across the street from like she worked in the education system, something like that.
Okay.
This white lady. She was like a tutor or whatever. And whenever like whenever I didn't have my key or I couldn't get in the house for whatever reason, we were out there, I would always go knock on her door because she always had these she had these good ass brownies. She always had these good ass they was they was like they was like packaged, but like they weren't, she didn't bake them, but she just always had fire snacks. She had those. She had Pop
Mm,
Tarts, granola bars. And she was just
mm.
like, yeah, y'all could kick it. And I remember we watched like Disney because she had cable. We never
I
had
know
cable,
that's
y'all.
right.
We never had cable. So she had cable, and so we would watch, Disney Channel, and she just let us kick it. She would help me with
Mm.
my homework, but of course I would tell her I didn't have homework because I'm not trying to do no homework up in
Hello?
here. Oh, you have homework? No, I don't got no. All right, you guys can watch TV and da 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 da
Me
da.
too.
And they always knew where we was at. And then we always had, if she wasn't there, we had a next door neighbor. Her name was Miss Kathy, another older white woman. We ended up
Mm.
giving our dog that kept jumping the fence to her.
Oh,
But
oh.
um and she was just a nice older white lady, very sweet. She had a grandson that sometimes would be over. He was a bit younger than us, and we'd come watch TV. But they always knew, like they always knew us because they knew our stepdad. So shout out to
Mm.
him. You ate that one thing. You ate that one thing.
I'm crying.
Being
Yeah.
extroverted and neighborly and whatnot. It really get to know your fucking. That's another thing. Get to know your fucking neighbors.
That's right. You better say
Get to
hi.
know.
Start with the hello and work your way
Start with
from
the
there.
hello and work your way through there. You need to get to know
Mhm.
your neighbors, develop a community because it's very important. You never know where you're going to need those people. You never know where
Mhm.
you're going to need those people. And for the people that are needed, be fucking nice. It
I know
costs
that's right.
nothing to be nice. It costs
Hello.
nothing to show a nigga love.
A
Nickel.
little bit of love, little Wody.
Wabble
A
dee dabble
little
dee.
bit of love. We're bad
Love.
goofy. We're bad goofy. Yo, I used to like going to my auntie house. She used to
Mm-hmm.
smoke this is back before she had gave her life to Christ. She used to smoke cigarettes and
Mm-hmm.
she used to just walk around the house like, you know what I'm saying? Like this. She didn't really believe in like wearing clothes around the house, and I second that. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? Like it's my mother. That was that. It was that kind of. It's my
That
motherfucking
power
house. You
move.
know what I'm
Assert
saying?
that
Yeah.
dominance.
You know what I'm saying? So she used to walk around the house with her with a little cigarette, and she used to cuss a lot, and I used to. You got mind you.
Yo,
I'm thinking this like 99, 2000, 2001. You know what I'm saying?
you're thinking this is
This
peak
was that.
womanhood.
This is. I was just like, she's so spicy, and I was dead
Yes.
quiet. Like I used to be there quiet, just watch, just taking everything in because this was just such an interesting space. It was always
Mhm.
kids running around in there. You know what I'm saying? Like the little boys from the hood,
Mm.
because it's my cousin house. My cousin has two boys. I think one of them was like a preteen, the other one was like, we was like 8. You know what I mean? 7.
Mhm.
And they were, well, I wasn't 8 in 2001, but you know what I mean. Anyway,
Yeah.
um, even up till that point, she used to walk around the house with a cigarette, and we used to just be running around the hallway, and I used to be you had to like dodge a cigarette, you know what I'm saying? And she used to be
Oh.
cussing, and she used to drink, and she used to, when nobody was looking, she'd be like, here, take a look, here. We'd be like, ew, nasty. You know, she'd be like, you know, she'd be like, don't tell your mother. You know what I'm saying? And you know,
Yeah.
she had tattoo, and she wore toe rings. She had, she had her nose pierced.
Oh,
You know what
I
I'm
love
saying?
that.
And her house was just so much fun. There was always so much shit going on over there. You know what I'm saying?
Chaos. Yo, my sister had a friend. I'm not gonna say the girl's name. My sister had a friend. It was this white girl, and they were Italian, and they were from New York. They were from Brooklyn, I think, but they lived in
Mhm.
North Carolina. And Maya had a friend, and she would go spend a night at their house. She would go spend a night at their house or whatever. Crazy fucking family. Like they literally had so much shit going on. And I remember we went to pick them up, and
My
we went
favorite.
to pick them
Just
up,
being in
and I was
chaos.
there being I love homes. I thrive because I grew up with a lot of people. So I
Yeah.
love when there's like a lot of people in the home
Me
and it's
too.
just
Me
that energy,
too.
that feeling, and it's a
Yes.
regular Tuesday, Thursday. Like
Yeah.
it's a school
Yeah.
night and niggas is
Yeah.
live. Like
Yeah.
niggas is like I love that.
Yeah.
So she I remember we went to go pick her up and like the door was wide open. The door was wide open. And so we're calling for Maya and Maya's coming down. Maya got all her little makeup and all her, like she
Yeah.
just looked like she had a time as a kid. I'm like, damn, I want to come. So she was like, yeah, you can come. Like, fuck it, you can come. And she cursed so Italian, them Italian, them New York Italians.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and it was 2 boys and it was 1 girl. And so I slept over the next time and I was like, yo, this is some other shit. And I remember we went to Walmart. She let us get whatever we want. We got whatever like. I remember she was like, we got whatever we want. And I put them on a chocolate popcorn. My mom used to get, this is like a snack we had. My mom used to get, popcorn, like the movie butter popcorn, pop
Yeah.
it. And she used to put hot chocolate powder in it and shake it up. And I was making that in there. And she was like, I told her about it. She was like, that sounds fucking amazing. We get off here. What do we do? We go to the store and we get we get
Talking to
popcorn.
somebody
We get
who's
chocolate
how old?
popcorn.
Which I was 8.
Literally, I was like 9 or 10. I was an older sister, so my sister might have been 8, but I was like
Okay.
9, 10.
Yeah.
And she always would have the so we went to the store, everybody just grabbing shit. My mom was low key a almond granola mom. So
Mhm.
like she wasn't fucking with cow's milk. She wasn't fucking with pork. She was not fucking with.
Mhm.
I remember we used to have to bring our own milk to school. It'd be the soy. We used to have to bring our own soy milk to school. Vitamins before you wake.
Yeah.
Molasses.
I
That's my
know.
mom.
Mhm.
Coconut oil because Vaseline clogs your pore. Like that was her. That's
Mhm.
my mom. So so she wouldn't have. My mom would not keep soda in the house. My mom was not fucking with that Red 40. She was not keeping. If it was a soda, it was like a ginger ale. We was getting a whole bunch of soda. We was getting a whole bunch of juice. We just hopped up on Red 40. We hopped up on a whole bunch of sugar. We used to stay up mad late, watch a whole bunch of crazy ass movies, and we would go to the park. And literally, the door was wide. The door was literally during the day. The door would be wide fucking open. Everybody just running around, grabbing shit
Yeah.
from the garage, pogo sticks,
Yeah.
scooters,
Yeah. Oh God.
BMX bike. She had a trampoline in the back. It was just so much fun, and she was
Fun.
just so. She wasn't in a like. She was just so chill, and I remember that was one of my favorite houses to go to ever. And I was like, Maya, how did you acquire this friend? Like, it was just crazy. And I was always like I was like the older girl there, and I was like, I was like 2 years on them, but it was a whole bunch of other, them around or whatever. I think I was
Mhm.
in the same, like, I think I might have been in the same class. I wasn't the same class with the brother, but I was the same age as the brother. Cool
Okay.
white Italian family. It was just so fun. It was just so much
Shout out to
fun.
I love people who cuss and don't care if the kids is around.
Literally,
At the
shout out to the
same
mom with the
time,
badass kids.
yeah.
Literally,
Yo,
shout out to the
literally.
moms with the rambunctious,
Mhm.
energetic kids because y'all will be youthful and y'all will not take shit seriously, and y'all house will always be the fun house because
Yes.
you have a wild ass kid, so you just know like
Mhm.
they're a kid, you're their kid, you let them do what they do, and when other
Yes.
kids come and do what they do, you're not taken aback by
Mhm.
it and feel like you gotta
Mhm.
discipline them or feel like you gotta shit on them for you just like all right cool,
Yes.
you're a
At the
kid
same
doing kid
time,
shit.
don't cuss in front of my kids. But
Oh,
I like
child.
when you cuss in front of the kid. I like when you cuss in front of the kids. but don't cuss in front of my
Like,
kids.
oh, poor.
My particular batch,
Yeah, and I be cussing
and
in front of them kids.
there's one of my batch that will go off. If you give her just what she said? It's a wrap for
Yeah,
the month.
I'm
For the
about
month.
to air her
So,
out. I remember one time because they was
oh,
around
I'm
me
about to
for
air her out too.
a little bit of time. They was around me for a little bit of time,
Mhm.
and I just y'all, we've heard about it. I just curse a lot. It's my mama's fault. I'm gonna blame her in front of all of y'all. I'm going to blame her. It's her fault. And she, the oldest one, Brianna's oldest one, is talking. She said, "Big ass suitcase." And it's like, I'm literally quiet as fuck. I'm literally quiet as hell. And I need Brianna Golden, discipline to her, go pop her. Why you talking like that? Why you saying that? And my mom was like, my mom got the nerve to be like, "Oh, I blame Yubby." And Brianna was like, "I blame Yubby too." Whoa. But the way she said it, girl, you're from Brooklyn, New York. But the way she said it was so country. Big ass suitcase. I'm like, oh, she got that from me. She literally got, oh, I'm the problem.
She
Oh,
picked
I'm
up
the
an
bad
accent.
influence.
It only took her 30 minutes, bro. I'm crying, bro.
She was like, big
You know,
ass suitcase.
I think
Oh.
low key, she loves to cuss. Like, she know better now. But back there was a point where she was testing me because she knew that I wasn't aware of if she knew better. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
It was like she knew better, but she was like, she don't know if I know better
She
yet.
be
So let me
knowing.
see how
I was
she
trying to
gonna
tell
know.
you.
How she one time
Yo.
one time she kept telling me it was a man in her room and da da da. I said, who? You know what I'm saying? I get in there, I'm thinking like, what's just some kind of like spiritual stuff happening? Like, is she seeing things? You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? I'm like, where's the man? By the window. And, da, da, da. And I was like, honey, you know, first off, I don't believe in being a mother. Like, ain't shit in there. I'm gonna tell her like right now, I don't see nothing. You know what I'm saying? But if there
Hmm.
was something there, I was gonna take care of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
However, I had to take care of it. It was gonna get up out of there. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
But so I'm explaining to her, it's okay. You don't gotta. She was like, no, but mommy, niggas is in there. Niggas is in there. And she was 2.5, 3. She was 2.5, 3 years old. You know what I'm saying? So English was very fresh. She just started putting words together. You know what I'm saying? And she was just like, niggas is in there. And I was so disgusted at myself,
Oh my
yet
God.
so
Y'all,
proud of
Brianna's daughter
her
is
for
literally Elmo. Literally Elmo.
she had
Niggas is what
perfect.
in there.
Yeah, she be like, yeah, the Marcus and cream ones. And when I got back, my coloring book, my sister. Yeah, but I was also very proud because it was perfect context. Perfect context, by the way. Niggas is in there. That is how you would say that. That is how I would say that. And just to clear it up, there were people who were doing work and they were like at the window. So that's what that was the whole time.
That girl literally looked me in my face one time. I was like, "Are you dumb?"
Not the Remy
What?
Ma.
Literally, she's children. I love children because they say the darndest
They're just
things. I
raw,
love
bro.
kids.
Super raw.
Love
But
kids.
yeah, I
Y'all.
think there was a question that you wanted to ask too. Do you remember that?
Yes, yes. Transition. Okay. So speaking of stuff we seen on the
Eyebrows.
TL, y'all, I seen something about this thing called the last meeting theory. And it basically came, this
Mm.
girl was telling a story time where she stopped dealing with somebody and she was like, bro, how every time I stop dealing with somebody, I never see them again. And we be real local and I just never see them again.
Mm.
And I was like, this is interesting because this has
Mm.
happened to me, y'all. Not to dox myself, but I recently fell out. I fell out with somebody and it was kind of one of those open-ended situations. And I recently like kind of closed,
Mhm. Mhm.
I closed, I shut it down.
Mhm.
But prior to, and we are in the same place, like it would be easy for me to run into this man. I've never run into him. And I think it was God, but I think it was the God, universe, whatever, my ancestors, because they knew if
Mhm.
I would have ran into them, it would have been an issue. It
Mhm.
would have been a problem because this man owed me money. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? But for some reason, it just never happened. And it was like I'd be at the clubs that he, I know he frequents, but my friends just so happen to, oh, we going to this club tonight. All right, fuck it. I don't want to see this nigga. I never see
Mhm.
this nigga. I never see this person. So, sorry. I want to know, what is your take on the last minute theory? And if you ever had a situation where it's like, woof, I dodged a bullet, like maybe something where you like stop talking to somebody or maybe stop interacting with somebody and it might have took you out, but you literally never had to see them again. And you
Mm.
know they local. Like, I know you're not going nowhere. You fucking
Yeah.
dustball. You're not leaving the block.
Yeah. For sure, that definitely did. I remember my circles used to mix with people. There was one specific person.
Mhm.
Child, I was with this a young man. I was a teen, like in my later teen years. Um,
Mhm.
and when we broke up, and I thought my life was over. I thought this was the end of the world. I thought there was nothing else that life had to offer me. I did not eat. I did not. Girl, so extra, bro. So, and I remember our families were like connected. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
his mom lived in the same building as a family member of mine who I spent a lot of
Mhm.
time with, especially
Mhm.
back in the day. And just over time, I really didn't, I wasn't going there anymore. So
Yeah.
there's that access point cut off, right?
You're right.
And also the other family members who were closer to this young man at the time, just I kind of slowly just, there was just more space that ended up coming between us
Mhm.
as well. And so that like was another access point that cut off. But even then, like we were all still like it's almost like okay, I've heard people reference something called like orbiting. Like, when you're like
Mm.
orbiting someone. And so, that y'all have been in the same places. It's just not the same time. You know what I mean? And I
Mhm.
think that that is most definitely for the best because I don't,
Yeah.
as a young person, I don't think I should. Yeah, that was just too much for somebody as green to the game as I was. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that space was really important, and I'm so glad that however the space, whatever forces,
Working overtime.
conspired to be sure that the paths ain't crossed, so that way I could, you know, get myself together, child.
What makes it so eerie to me and kind of strange though
Yeah.
is because these be the people that you be so distraught.
Yo,
These be the people that's so distraught, and literally as soon as you cut ties, the universe be like, "Finally, thank you. We can
yes,
exile this
and
nigga from the literally.
yes.
We
It's
can
almost like you
exile this
jump a
nigga from your
timeline.
cipher. This
Yeah,
nigga's
it's
no
like you
longer in
go
your
to
cipher. He's good as gone, bitch. You
mhm,
never have to see him ever
mhm.
again. We've been waiting to get rid of this nigga. We just needed the green light
Child.
from your ass. We just need the
Soon as
green
you
light from
close
your
that
ass."
door, shut, sealed. Baby, what?
Doom.
Padlock. Yeah, vault.
Okay. Don't
Vaulted.
and you can't and it makes it hard to reopen like, oh, you gotta really go out your way. You gotta go out your way to go find this person. You probably on Facebook, looking on Instagram, looking them up
Child.
or whatever. And then literally in the mid, you never finish it because in the mid you realize I look fucking
Yo,
crazy.
that was me, bro. Like, I was you think like, and
This
it'll be years
is
later, like, what was good with that person? You know what I'm saying? Back in the day,
you
let
do
me
a
go
little tight.
see. Yeah, and they're like, "Oh hell no, this is this is gross. This is gross." I think my ego too. I got an ego on me, so in my head, I used to be like, "Hell no, I'm that girl. I would never get caught
Right.
searching for no
That
fuck searching. Ew, dirty, gross. The fuck?
that post stalk clarity. Maybe I
Yeah.
should have did. Or you like, all
Uh,
right, like let's see who you with now. I know it don't get no better than this, but let me just see. Oh,
I couldn't. I don't. Mm-mm.
literally no.
Mm.
But that was something I was
Give a
just thought was
fuck.
so interesting because like your spirit team were really like I think the
Snatch you up out of
you
there.
people don't really understand the weight of decisions because we're humans and we make decisions every day, right? But when you make a really big decision, like when you make a really big decision, your world will like literally shift
Yes.
into the way it's supposed to go. And I think with that
Yes.
person, the minute I literally like the minute I a certain line was crossed and I was like, "Oh, never again." Literally the universe was like, "All right, never again." Like was dead
Mhm.
like never again dead ass. We're like period end of sentence. That's it. never seen that man ever. Literally never seen that man ever again, which is very,
That is
very
so
fucking strange.
wild. That is so wild.
Isn't
How
it?
somebody who's such a great deal of your life all of a sudden just it's almost like they cease to exist. Like it's
Boom,
crazy.
never happened.
But also like for certain signs, that's pretty
Mhm.
much exactly how the fuck they think anyway. Like Aquarius is Sagittarians,
Mhm.
and and or don't let you double down and be somebody with ADHD, child. Out of sight, out of fucking mind. You literally don't exist.
You literally what?
Literally, literally. I've
Excuse
had that
me?
happen to me. People come up to me like,
But you
I
know what
know
I've
we know each other.
also
The fuck?
I've read about people, and this is why I'm like, oh, I definitely need to eval, because I've read about people like all people that have been on the spectrum in their
Mhm.
relationship to justice being so great that they
Mhm.
can almost come off as being a bit vindictive a little bit. And I
Mhm.
think I go through that too, where it's like, but but you did this to me, and you have to pay for your crimes. You will be dealt with.
Mhm.
You need to suffer. You need to da, 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 da."
Uh-huh.
Instead of, and it like literally micromanaging karma. Like
Mhm.
I'm not even lurking to see nothing. I'm just lurking to see if karma is whacking like literally whacking you, like whacking you down. I'm just checking to make sure you're doing bad. Like I'm really checking to make sure you're doing horribly. You
I'm
know,
Ay
as
ay
horrible
ay.
as you treated me, as horrible as you treated me. I hope you get everything that you deserve, and I mean that in a parentheses derogatory. I don't mean that
Mhm.
in a good
Mhm.
way.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
I
And I
understand.
think my relationship to people getting their just due
Mhm.
has literally in certain situations has drove me up the wall, like literally like in fits of rage because they not getting they just do when I say so. You know what I'm saying? When I tell you the universe really be on their own time. When they say you make a plan and God laughs, they
Mhm.
was not joking. They was not joking, y'all.
You know I know, child.
We love you guys so much. We appreciate you guys tuning in every motherfucking Thursday.
Mhm.
We are
Mhm.
here every Thursday. If you're new here, we're here every Thursday. Please follow us on Instagram at Your Favorite Cousins Podcast.
Mhm.
Please follow us on TikTok at Your Favorite Cousins Pod.
Hello.
Please email us any inquiries, any like anything you have to say or get on your mind, if venting, anything for advice. We're all ears. We're all ears, eyes. We will be there for you. Please email us at your favorite cousins podcast at gmail.com. All
Mhm.
yas are YA, not YOUR. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
YA. Y'all,
And we love y'all so much. And we're gonna call
we gonna
y'all
call y'all back.
back.
Bink.